Hey guys, I am attorney Roger P. Foley. Check out the shades. I think someone left them, and this pair, and this pair, and about 50 other pairs in my office over the years. Now I just kind of give them away. It's like if you happen to be in my office and you're a client and you pay me, I usually pass you out a pair of free sunshades because I have so many pairs and no one ever comes and claims them. Anyway, today I'm going to keep wearing my cool glasses. Well, they probably don't look that cool on me. The more videos I do, the uglier and fatter I get on video. Anyway, what I'm going to talk to you today about is DUI. Drunk driving, driving under the influence, cruising while intoxicated. I don't advocate it, but I do deal with it an awful lot. That's a black cherry. I love this stuff. Terrible for my body. DUI. Should I blow? No. Should I give a urine test? No. Should I do exercises? No. Should I talk to the officer? No. That's all of it in about 15 seconds, folks. But let me give you a little bit more detail so you understand what's going on in the DUI. No one knows. Oh, they must be drunk. No, sorry, Mom. Sorry, Aunt Sue. Not everyone who gets arrested for DUI is actually DUI. What does that mean? Driving under the influence of drugs and or alcohol to the extent that your normal faculties are impaired. What does that mean? Can you talk? Can you walk? Right? Can you hear? Can you see? Walk, talk, see, hear, and act in emergencies, your normal faculties. One of the most common charges throughout the country is DUI. People always ask, I go to a dinner party, hey, you do DUIs? Yes. Can you give me some advice? I mean, should I give a breath? Or usually people tell me about their DUIs and how many times they've been convicted. So, how do we not get convicted? First rule, don't drink, don't smoke weed, don't do Molly, and then get in a vehicle. That's the easiest way. But let's say that your mom's told you that, your dad's told you that, and you happen to have a beer at a restaurant or a glass of wine on your way home from a gala. Well, here's what's going to happen. If it's late at night, you're going to be profiled. It's late at night, you're coming out of a restaurant, you're coming from a bar, it's late. What are people doing late, right? You know? Police officers hang out near restaurants, clubs, bars, right? That's what they do. I mean, they're hanging out, they're looking for crime, right? So if it's not available, they're going to stop vehicles for traffic infractions. They're going to check that, they got a revenue. There's no quota, but there's a quota. It's performance enhancement or whatever the hell they call it at the police department. Basically, we can't tell you that you got to write a bunch of tickets or make so many arrests, but you kind of have to do that because if you don't perform, then you're not going to get increase in salary. You're not going to move up in rank. So, read between the lines, right? And NWA, right? Anyway, I'm not here to knock police or do anything like that. I like to make jokes. DUI. If you are pulled over, an officer is going to say, usually in the evening time, sir, where are you coming from? Ma'am, where are you coming from? Where are you going? You do not need to answer. You can say it's personal business. You cannot say anything. License and registration. Hand it to them. Okay. Ma'am, I see you're having a little difficulty. You don't have to respond, right? The more you talk, the more you're possibly on video. The more the officer can say, oh, his words were slurred. His face was flushed. They can make all these observations. Guess what, folks? They're going to make the observations anyway because the case law that's cited, that they're trained on, tells them what? You have to have flush face. Is my face flush? It's flush, right? My eyes bloodshot? Yes, I've been working on cases straight for 11 years, right? So many little factors that the officers can pick up on. Flushed face, slurred speech, odor of alcohol. Well, guess what, folks? Alcohol doesn't have an odor. It's whatever beverage is mixed in. So if I drink vodka with black cherry, my breath's going to smell like black cherry, but the officer's going to say, based on my training experience over several years and all of the illegal arrests that I've made, I found that there was probable cause for the arrest. And guess what the judge is going to do, right? He's going to go, I find the officer very credible, sir, and I'm respectfully going to deny your motion. Then he's going to go back, into his chambers. He's going to take off his black, and he's going to be right back with his police uniform on because he's just an extension of the police. That's the reality, folks. There's judges that try to do it right, but the vast majority, guess who's voting for him? Let's talk about it. Little old ladies and the police department. Who else is showing up for local voting things? People have nothing to do with them, with their time, or they're doing it for a purpose. Hey, if you get Billy on the bench, Billy's going to fight crime. Billy's going to send these criminals away. That's what you're dealing with. So let's call it for what it is. So, what do I look for in a DUI? Don't talk. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Here you go, officer. Where are you coming from? Personal business. Where are you going? Personal business. Have you been drinking tonight? Ignore the question. You don't have to answer the question. You're not obligated to do it. And they can't comment during a trial on your silence. Right? Fifth Amendment? Heard of it? Okay. So, sir, based on my training experience, I think that you may be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Come outside. I'm going to stick this pen up. It's pitch black dark. I can't see your damn eyeball. But by God, I'm going to swear, to tell the truth, that I trained for 40 whole hours 19 years ago that your eyes are just funny. They're just funny. You didn't pass the horizontal gaze and Nystagmus test, and I swear, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't pass it. I've been trained. I don't have any machinery. I done put a puff in his eye like they do at the medical doctor. Well, but he had a horizontal gaze Nystagmus at 45 degrees as he had smooth pursuit, but it wasn't smooth. His eyes were jumping like jumping beans, jumping all over the place, right? And then when I held it out at maximum deviation, when I held this pen at the wrong angle, and because I don't know 45 from 70, well, his eyes bumped over here and kind of did a little wiggle like this. So guess what? He failed that test. That's what he did. And I shouldn't do that in a southern accent because I lived in Alabama and I love Alabama. Roll Tide. But that's how I feel like the officers say. They're going to say what they need to say. Now they're going to say, well, ladies and gentlemen, I then did, what did I do? I did the walk and turn. I gave him a set of directions, and he wasn't able to follow them directions. So here are what I said to him, right? Let me give it to you real quick, because this is how I talk. Sir, I'd like you to place your hands at your side, put your left foot in front of your right foot, and I want you to stand there, just like this. All right? I want you to stand there, listen to everything that I'm saying. I don't want you to move out of that stance. Do not start until I tell you to. All right? What I want you to do is I want you to take 9 small steps, heel touching toe. I want you to turn around, 3 small steps. All right? Turn back around, count 9 steps back, and return. Do you understand those directions? You do? Okay, begin. Usually at about 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not really following directions so well. So guess what? You fail because you didn't do the walk and turn. He was swaying. He was off balance. He counted 10 instead of 9. Well, does the first foot count or does it not count? Don't do the exercise. Oh, let's finger the nose. Well, sir, I want you to put your hands together. Don't move. Put your hands to your side. Same thing, all right? I want you to take your index fingers. I want you to point them out, right? Straight out. I want you to go forward, touch your toe, touch the tip of your toe. Tip of your toe. See, the officer's drunk. Touch the tip of your finger with the tip of your nose, all right? Come back. I'm going to tell you which one to do. So if I say right, you take your right hand, you point it forward, you touch your tip of your nose, and you put it right back out. And you go forward, and you touch the tip, and you go. When I say right, right, left, and if I say right, right, you better do right, right. Got it? Okay, go. Go. Left, right, 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 left, left. People mess up. People touch the side of it. Oh, you failed. Well, I touched my nose. You failed. Okay? What else do? We do the standing balance. That means I stand there like an idiot with my hands next to my side. Sir, I want you to stand like an idiot. in the middle of the street as cars are passing by and it's breezy, right? And it's starting to drizzle. I want you to put your hands to your side, right? Got it? All right. I want you to tip your head back, close your eyes, and estimate 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish this cop would hurry up and go away. I'm not drunk. What the hell is going on? This guy. Okay, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I'm done. Oh, you failed because that was only 19 seconds. You understand? You are giving a police officer ammunition to do what? To crucify you, right? Crucify you in court. Do not do exercises. I'm not your legal counsel, so this isn't legal advice. This is what I may tell my client. Don't do it, because whether you had 1 drink or 50 drinks, he already thinks that you're under the influence of drugs and or alcohol. Guess what? You're going to jail. You're taking the ride. You're in the back of the police car. He might even do a couple brake things where your nose hits the thing if you give him an attitude. So be polite, but don't talk. Got it? Great. Now you get back to the facility. You go back to the Sally Port, right? They take you in. There's cameras there. Can never seem to get that stuff. You walk out there. Now they read you what's called implied consent. If you've been charged with a DUI, you have to give a breath. It's not a privilege, blah, blah, blah. And they go through all this language that you're not ever going to have a clue because they say it so quick that even as an attorney, been doing it 11 years, I don't know what the hell they're saying, right? But basically the gist is if you've had no DUIs in the past and you refuse to give a breath, your license can be suspended or will be suspended for 1 year. If it's a second DUI or it's a second refusal, then your license will be suspended for 18 months, right? Okay, so well, you don't have to give a breath. It's a privilege. Yeah, your license may be suspended in a civil thing called a formal review hearing or an informal review hearing, or you might just get a waiver, pay $25, and be driving in 3 days, right? But he's going to tell you that if you give a breath and it's over, that's evidence of guilt. You're placing the bullets, right, into the gun, and then handing it to the officer nicely, the state attorney, so they can shoot you. Well, what happens if you actually take the breath? Well, if you take the breath and it's over, I get to go home? No. Guess what? You still get to stay in jail because you know what they're going to do next? Ma'am, sir, I'd like you to do a urine test. I want you to pee in the cup while I stare at your vagina or your penis. That's what you're going to do, right? Obviously, women are going to go there to look at the vagina, and men are going to look at the penis, right? Great. So, now you urinate in a cup. They're going to test it. See if it has alcohol and or drugs in it. Guess what, folks? What if you took a pill 4 days ago? Maybe you took an Oxycontin for your pain, for your back pain, something prescribed, some kind of narcotic, and it's in your system. Guess what? It's going to show up. Does that mean you're impaired on Friday night when you took it on Monday? No, but it shows up, and the state's going to use it against you. And granted, there's no chemist that's going to be able to say under oath that it was this and that. But now you're in a trial. Now you got to hire me. You got to spend a bunch of money, right? You got to listen to me talk. You got to listen to me talking in the office. You got to listen to me, fight with cops. Actually, that's kind of fun to watch me do that, since I love doing that. But you're stressing, your family's stressing, you're going through all of these things. The less evidence that the state attorney has against you, the less likely they can convict you. So, does it make sense? You do what you want. This isn't legal advice. This is me talking about topics. But if you do exercises, you're more than likely going to go to jail because nobody does the exercises perfect. People make mistakes. No one's perfect. If you give a breath, maybe it's over, maybe it's not. You're not going home. You're still arrested. Oh, well, the state attorney may dismiss the charges. That's what the argument will say for the educated folks out there that they know all about the process. Yeah, but guess what? Half the time the state attorneys, as they're doing the case file, it's rubber stamped. Yes, if you blow an 04, they're not going to go forward, right? If you blow an 07, I've seen them go forward. You're under the limit, but they still go forward because but anything over .05 they can go forward on. So do they? Rare. I have had cases where the state attorney has gone forward on an 072, 076. They didn't win, but they went forward. From a defense perspective, I am looking for mistakes. I am looking for mistakes that the police officer made. I am basically being a broadcaster on NBC or ESPN on Monday morning saying, oh, they should have run this pass or they should have run that. And you know what? That's not the hardest job because it's easy to pick out flaws for people. I'm particularly good at that. I'm particularly good at annoying people and showing them their flaws. Ask anyone that knows me. So that's what I'm doing for police. I am looking at all of the procedures and protocols that they're supposed to follow, all of the training and experience that they're supposed to have, and I'm calling them out on every single mistake that they're making. That's what a criminal defense attorney, that's what happens when you have a DUI. That's what the whole part of it is. Can I get a reckless, Mr. Foley? Is that possible? I mean, I read about it. They're only dropping it to a reckless, first of all, if you're in Miami or if you're in Palm Beach and you do a diversion and there's no accident, right? No accident, and you're not over, 0.15. 0.15. In Broward, there is no diversion. So they're not doing that. They're only going to reduce the charge, right? If I have a motion, if there's a mistake, if there's a weakness in the case that they don't think they can go forward on and possibly win, right? If they don't think they can win, then they're going to try to offer you stuff, right? They'd rather get something than nothing. That's DUI in a nutshell. So, if I'm at a dinner party and we're talking and you ask me that question, I'm going to refer you to this video. Why? I'm attorney Roger P. Foley, and I just gave you a whole bunch of information, whether you can use it or not, just general educational information on DUI. Thanks.